Hello, this is the account Brood My Warcraft, and I am responding to M007417 and his video Science vs. Quran Part 1 Earth and Mountains. I responded in text to M, and he asked me that I should do a video response to him, and I am replying now. And before I begin, I have to say I'm not out to try to convert you or anything. No, that's not my job. I'm not telling you which is better or anything. I'm just trying to point out errors I feel you made during your video. And I also suggested to you, that your video, the debate between Dr. William Campbell and Dr. Zakir Naik, not because, and what I wanted you to pay attention to is not necessarily the debate between what was better than Christianity and Islam. I wanted you to pay attention to the to what Zakir Naik was saying about the scientific portions of the Quran, and that's what I wanted you to pay attention to. I didn't care whether or not you cared about the debate itself. I just wanted you to see the scientific proofs that Zakir was talking about. But as I'm here now, I'm going to try to rebuttal what you have said in your video. Now, when you said at the beginning that if your translation was off, that we should get you a better one. Well, the problem is that, like any translation of the Quran, you're not going to get the words aren't always going to mean what the Quran meant them to say because of their deeper meanings and multiple meanings. So it's very hard for translations, if not impossible for a translation to get to what the Quran said. But if you're going to, for anyone basically who's going to watch this video, if you want a good translation or the best translation possible, I recommend this one. This is the Quran interpreted by A.J. Arbery, A-R-B-E-R-R-Y. And this is the best one I have with me. In fact, this may be the best one I've ever read. Now, I also have with me this Quran here. And the reason for that is to show you the Arabic words that I'm going to try to point out to you. Now, moving on to the topic of the rebuttal. I'm going to, first off, there are 4 chapters, and within the specific verses you cited. They are 13:3, 15:19, 91, 5 through 6, and 79 through 30. And you were commenting or criticizing them, talking about spreading out. The word spread out. I need to first refer to you to this verse, 71 verse 9, chapter 71 verse 19, and this will help make everything make sense. And Allah has created the earth for you as a carpet, spread out. And that's what it's talking about, It's not talking about spread out as a shape. I mean, yes, oftentimes when you talk about carpet, a carpet is spread out over a flat surface. That's usually almost always what they're talking about. But you can also put a carpet over a round surface. That's the idea. It's describing the Earth's crust as a carpet, a thin carpet of about 1 to 30 miles, give or take. And the idea behind it is that it's spread out to allow human beings to live on it. Because below the crust, you can't live on it. You can't live on the earth. The crust is there for it to be habitable. So it's not talking about the shape. It's talking about the expanse of the earth, the spaciousness of the earth, the stretched out part of how stretched out the earth is in terms of its expanse. Okay, now moving on. Now, when I told you about reasons why translations can't get the meaning right, this is the specific verse I want you to look at. It's 43:10, and you described in 43:10 that the translation said that, have we not made the earth as a... Hold on, that's 78:67. 43:10. Who has made for you the earth like a bed, and has made for you roads therein in order that you may find your way. Now, the word bed is a very simple and frankly totally misleading term. Though it can mean bed, it means what's specifically referring to is the Arabic word mahdan. And the word mahdan means not just cradle, because here it talks about here He who appointed the earth to be a cradle. If you can see that very well. I hope you can. And the thing about Mahdan is that this is the first place a newborn, when they come into this world, this is the first place you put them as a sense of safety. That's describing. It describes the place where newborns are placed when they first come into this world. And that's what it's talking about. The Mahdan is that when the humanity came into this world, earth was placed as a Mahdan, as a newborn cradle for them. And the roads, not literal roads, because the translation here also says, and appointed ways for you therein that haply you may be guided. And that is the idea, is that this earth has, we are guided on this earth by the paths that this earth has laid out for us. And at the same time, we may also take these paths that have been laid out before us. So it doesn't necessarily mean roads. You can also interpret it that different roads where people will travel down on this earth as we're living. So that's what it's talking about. Now, in my final part I want to get to here is 78, 6 through 7, as I was referring to a bit too early. First, again, it refers to Mahdan, but also then you began to question, as it says here, have we not made the earth as a bed and the mountains as pegs? Now, Mahdan, again, when we're talking about bed, it's talking about Mahdan, and I already addressed that. Now, when it talks about mountains as pegs, you have to, it talks about, like, think about it, as tent poles. Think about it. When you smack a peg, a tent pole peg, into the ground, you see the top part, but you also see much of the part below. And modern geology now talks about this. It says that discovered this. It has deep roots beneath. So it's like an iceberg. You see some at the top, but deep roots on the bottom. When it talks about pegs, it's talking about, stabilizing or holding the earth together. And then you mistakenly thought you were inferring that it prevents earthquakes because it prevents instability. But the instability you're mistaken is the surface instability. It's not talking about that. Everyone knows, like earthquakes a lot of times will happen in mountains. But the idea behind mountains is not to prevent earthquakes. The word earthquake means zilzal or zalzala. There's a chapter 99, it's termed zalzala. It talks about the earthquake. But it's not appearing in these verses. The word is tamida, or tamida, which means to shake or to sway, and the full thing is saying is tamida bikum, because as you can see in 29 and 21:31, and again in 31:10, it's tamida bikum, which means lest they shake with you. So the idea is that so this way mountains prevent the earth from, so when you're moving, the earth doesn't move with you. When you shake, the earth doesn't shake with you. And mountains are there to help stabilize the earth's gyration. That's what it's talking about. There's no mention of zilzal or zalzala. No mention of earthquakes. It's not saying it prevents earthquakes. It's saying it prevents the earth's gyration from being unstable. Now, I believe I managed to answer all of those verses that you cited. Or at least the ones I've cited for you. I managed to correct what you said, what you were mistaken. But also, I'm also going to include in this video several of my links to my sources that you can get some more information on. And I hope I answered you well. If you want to continue to debate, that's fine. I just wanted to show certain mistakes you made in your and I mean, no offense to you. I'm not trying to force anything on you. I just wanted to correct some things you made, and I hope I answered them, and I look forward to continuing the debate with you. Thanks.